The staging lanes here as we get set to go. Rob Howden alongside Mike Smith here in the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center. And the drivers are spooling things up and getting ready to go, and we're at it. Green, green, green. Opening run in here to turn number one. Drivers trying to stay clean to get through here. Pretty solid in the opening couple of corners. What happens when they go into turn number two? One driver to the barrier on the outside of turn number two. Mike, that is not the way to start your Super Sunday main event.
No, it's not. One of the things I want to point out, Oliver Kidmark's hit a big sweep as he went through the final corner, and then the first corner, already getting out to about 5-car length lead.
Yeah, Oliver Kidmark, a driver that has been really impressive. Probably the most impressive driver in the Mini Swift category on the pole position, as you said. Driver out of Sweden on the Parolin. Settling into that early lead here now. Again, just what we've seen in all the races, just with the kind of chaos that's happened in turn 1 and 2, the front-running drivers have been able to pull out into decent little advantages. A 4-driver breakaway right now here in Mini to start things off.
Yeah, as they cross the line to complete lap number 1, we'll take a look at our gaps here. It is Kidmark, Oakstein, Roberts, Kanthan, Ardiles, your top 5, and the gap still only about 1 second. It's covering that whole group with a pass for, it looks like, third.
Again, we talked about that one driver being out early. Let's figure out who that was. I think it was Salvador Della Vecchia. That was Della Vecchia. I said one of the drivers up front. He was a guy that we expected to challenge for a podium at the very least and potentially a race win. Salvador Della Vecchia out in turn number 2, that opening lap. Here you see the drivers working their way through the rhythm section of this track and into the tight chicane at the top left corner of the screen. They'll roll in there. It's a cutback chicane. Really got to get on the brakes and get the thing turned around the corner. You got to get through there cleanly because, Mike, that really is probably one of the most important parts of the racetrack, to get out cleanly and get through out into turn number 10, 11, and down the straightaway.
Now, we talk about that chicane and how it can be a bit of a calamity corner with how tight it is and with those curves there. As you say, it is really important to get through so you can get that big run onto the straightaway. And if you're close, maybe sniff a little bit of that draft at the end of the straight.
Oliver Kidmark out into the lead. Battle a little further back there for you for about 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on back. Diego Ardiles, Enzo Vidmontien, Oliver Weldon, and Rodrigo Seabra. And Enzo Vidmontien impressing right now as he's been able to get his way up into 6th. Started 9th. He did not qualify well, had to fight forward in all the heat races. It started 9th and now is into 6th. This thing really going well for Vidmontien. It's been a rough weekend, but he's been digging from the very beginning.
We talked about some of the drivers earlier in the week about steadily moving forward. Every session, a little bit better, a little bit better. Vidmontien definitely looks like one of those drivers that can make things happen, especially if he can get some clean laps in.
Oliver Weldon just went purple there as well. Weldon running in the 6th position, fastest driver on the racetrack in the 104. Here they come out of there. That's Ardiles right there on the left side of the screen. That is the 5th place driver. 6th is Weldon. 7th is Enzo Vidmontien. Oliver Weldon slotting in there to that P6 position. Those 3 drivers kind of line it up, see if they can't reel back in the leaders there. 5th, 6th, and 7th, Ardiles, Weldon, and Vidmontien. They're about a second behind the lead group right now of Kidmark, Osteen, Roberts, and Kanthan.
I think that gap is actually starting to shrink here. Kidmark had about a half-second advantage. We'll see what it is this time across. It looks like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are starting to work together a little bit to close that gap. Indeed, only about a quarter second this time by.
Exactly that, using the draft down the long back straightaway to close back in. Tyler Roberts has gotten to 2nd, so the Parolin drivers running 1-2 here. There's Tyler Roberts running in 2nd in the 199, trying to close up on him here. They've worked their way out of turn number 4 and 5 now.
The question is, are they going to stay smart? There's a little bit of a gap back, but if they start racing too hard, it's going to end up being a big group because just off the back is a whole bunch of drivers.
Yeah, I would not want to be battling knowing that Ardiles, Weldon, and Vidmontien are coming. Weldon just went purple again. You can see the gap back from Vivek Kanthan back to Diego Ardiles. Not that much, just about a second, and maybe a little less now even. Here's your leader coming down the straightaway. Kidmark's been good all weekend long. He's got Tyler Roberts, his Parolin teammate, right there on the bumper as well. A lot of good racing here early.
I'll tell you what, they got that Oliver Weldon ride dialed in the 104, another fast lap, and the only one of 2 drivers in the 50-point range or 50-second range. The only other driver is Vidmontien.
More hardcore racing down in turn number 4. giving each other a little bit of room coming through that turn 5, that little kink that comes out of turn number 4. We saw that action in the last race at KA 100 Junior with Jeremy Fletcher and Elio Mesa. There's Weldon right there still. Weldon trying to find a way by Vivek Kanthan. He's been able to get by Diego Ardiles. Weldon, the quickest driver early on here right now, 50.727. He goes purple once again in P5. Weldon trying to close up. Enzo Vidmontien making a move, I believe, to the inside of Tyler Roberts as well.
And there's the move from Weldon. Moves up one more spot. That's going to be P3 for Weldon.
Yeah, Oliver Weldon's moving right now, as you said. There he goes into third position. There's first and second. Oliver Kinmark. Actually, that might be further back. No, that's your lead group right now. Indeed it is. Oliver Kinmark still out front.
You know, Oakstein's not really been able to make any inroads there, the P2 driver. And that gap's been about the same since the start. But now you got Weldon into the fight, and Weldon's going to get to Oakstein. The question is, how long to dispatch, and can we bridge the gap to Kinmark?
Yeah, and I'll say this about Oliver Weldon. He is not making, he's not waiting at all. The minute he gets somewhere, he's making that pass. Back down the straightaway again with Kinmark leading the way. Weldon going to put his head down and try to get himself in the fight. Currently P3, 7 laps down, 13 to go. A 20-lapper for the drivers here in the Mini Swift category. They'll move to the inside, further back. There's Kinmark leading. Top 4 drivers have a little bit of a gap there as Kanthan's right there. Probably about a second back to Diego Ardiles in the number 197.
It looks like Weldon's made the move for P2, and now right on the back bumper, Weldon, not only the one on the move, now the one going for the lead.
Check this out for Oliver Weldon. He's having a great run here on Super Sunday as he closes up. Putting the pressure now on Oliver Kinmark. As Weldon tried to go to the lead here in turn number 1, they get a good run down into the final corner on the racetrack.
I think he could have, and he didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
1 or 2.
This is poise. This is good. So he's fast, now smart. Do you push very long, or do you just wait for the right opportunity so you don't lose a bunch of time doing it? Because right now, look, they're stretching it out a little bit on P3 because I think Kanthan made the move on Oakstein.
Yeah, this is it. If they're going to fight behind, take the opportunity to potentially stretch away. We know that Kinmark has the speed to be able to pull away. He did so in those heat races. Weldon, this is the best we've seen him. Second in the JC Karting number 104. Will they pull away from Asher Osteen, or does he put his head down and make it a 3-driver battle up front? It's 4 drivers right now, although Diego Ardiles got a lot closer last time by. You can see how visibly closer they are coming down the straightaway.
There's the move. Weldon to the inside. Just lost it on the camera there, but I believe we're going to see a new leader.
Coming out of the thinking it may be Weldon into the lead. Indeed it is. Weldon has gone to P1, getting the move inside Kinmark. Kinmark going to try to return the favor over in turn 4, and he does so. This is going to bring everybody back in again. They are not drafting. We're going to have ourselves probably 8 or 9 drivers in the front group here now. Kinmark back to P1 through the rhythm section. 7 and 8. Into turn number 9 now. 122 of Vivek Kanthan there in the 3rd spot. Asher Osteen runs 4th. Diego Ardiles 5th. Enzo Vidmontien 6th. Tyler Roberts just went purple with a 50.711 from 7th.
Yeah, and 7th is included in this group, which is about 8 drivers. They come across the line there to try to give you an idea. There's inside move. I think that might be Vidmontien also following through.
Yeah, 8 drivers in this lead group now. As you had said, Kinmark the leader. 8 drivers. And Enzo Vidmontien is moving. Pro Tour champion in this Mini Swift category. Vidmontien running P4. Ardiles able to get by Weldon. Weldon's going to lose another spot. He's got 2 wide coming out of 4. Had to cut back there in turn 5. As it was Kanthan, I believe, through. Or is that Ardiles? A lot of action up front here. Through that super tight chicane. Yeah, I think that's Ardiles in the 197.
We saw in the heat races all of these drivers at one point were able to lead. Kinmark, Weldon, Oakstein, Vidmontien.
Yeah, we'll apologize if we get the name wrong because it's super hard to see off our monitors here with the glare we're getting to tell you exactly who that is in that lead group.
That time across the line, though, it was Kinmark, Oakstein, Vidmontien, Weldon back to fourth, Ardiles fifth.
That's Asher Osteen in second in the 194. Ardiles in the 197. Very similar livery to those two drivers. And Osteen has got himself up into second. Kinmark, though, back to the front. Even though Weldon had it for a while, Kinmark seems to be holding on to the top spot. But there's your lead group. 5 drivers in the lead group. A little bit back to Tyler Roberts. But that's a big pack of guys, Mike. It's probably 9 drivers within 2 seconds up front as Jack Iliff at the tail of that group right now in the number 102.
Yeah, and all it's going to take is one move. One move, and they're all in there. We got one coming right now. I think that is Weldon taking a peek. Not going to happen.
Move for the lead, though. To the inside goes Asher Osteen. Osteen now takes the lead as they work their way through 2. That's Vidmontien, is it not?
I believe that's Vidmontien and then Kinmark, I think.
Enzo Vidmontien, what a weekend it's been for this guy. Such a tough go in qualifying. Had to fight his way forward in all 3 of the heat races. And now he finds himself as a leader on Super Sunday. 8 laps remaining. We're into the second half of the race here for Mini Swift, brought to you by Orsalon Racing.
We knew from the heat races the mini race was going to be one of the best ones here on Sunday, and it is proven to be that way. Look at the number of contenders. In all the other previous races, we've seen big stretches, but we got 10 drivers that still got a shot there.
That's exactly that. This is a battle for sure. And funny, the guy in 11th, Christian Castoya, just went purple with a 50.483. So even the guys back in 11th dialing things in. This racing's going to continue fighting, and it's going to keep bringing guys into the battle.
Yeah, if you look at live timing, first to 11th separated by 2 seconds even, and we know you can lose 2 seconds with one move.
That's it. Enzo Vidmontien, the leader. Kinmark still holds on to second. Laps ticking away. Asher Osteen third. Diego Ardiles fourth. Oliver Weldon fifth. Tyler Roberts sixth. Vivek Kanthan. Jack Iliff. Rodrigo Seabra all within 2 seconds. And Roman Kamyev. Christian Castoya right there as well, just 2 seconds back. There is Weldon putting the pressure now on Diego Ardiles, as the leaders work their way down the back straight. First time all weekend that we've seen the Pro Tour champion Enzo Vidmontien pace the field.
Bit of a look there. I believe that was Weldon trying to make a look for the inside of Osteen. We had to duck back inside. Didn't lose any time for it. Moved further back. That might have been Ardiles.
Kinmark still strong there in second. Osteen in third. Weldon up to fourth, and you're right, there's been a breakaway there. Oh, there's contact, I believe, into the barrier. One of those drivers tapped the barrier coming out of turn number 4. That turn 5 nipple that comes out the side there.
I think that was Kinmark.
It might have been Kinmark, you're right. A rare mistake from the Swede, who's been almost perfect throughout the weekend.
And the camera had just moved to the time. It looked like it was going to be really, really tight there. I wasn't sure if it was a little bit of help or just a mistake. Didn't lose much time, just position.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't bend an axle. I thought that was going to be a harder impact. Kinmark currently in that 5th spot. This has allowed Vidmontien to pull away to almost a second lead as Oliver Weldon is now running second with 4 laps to go.
The last time Weldon was up there, he was only up there for a second. Now Osteen right there. Are they going to push up? Because Vidmontien is the largest lead we've seen since the very beginning of the race when it was Kinmark out front.
Enzo Vidmontien taking control of this main event for Mini as he is pulled away nicely. Weldon, Osteen, and Kinmark need to work together. Otherwise, Vidmontien's going to be gone. Won the Pro Tour already this year in Mini Swift. He's going to get a Super Nationals victory as well.
We're watching, that is Kinmark just in front of Osteen.
Oh, yeah, Osteen. Look at this run down the back straightaway. Big run for Oliver Weldon.
Personal best out of Kinmark. Not done yet.
No, not at all. Kinmark's still there. Remember, once Vidmontien and Weldon start racing, these guys are going to be right back in it. Weldon will look over his shoulder out of 3. Got to gauge how much room he's got. Running that offensive line. Doesn't have to worry about anybody behind him right now. And Weldon trying to close up. They got a bit of a gap. 4 laps remaining in this one. Vidmontien, Weldon, Kinmark, and Osteen, the front-running quartet. A little further back to Ardiles, Kamyev, Roberts, and then Kanthan. This one's coming down to potentially be an Enzo Vidmontien versus Oliver Weldon.
We're concentrating on the front 4 here because they got a little bit of a gap, but there's also a fight for the final podium spot. It is Ardiles, as you say, Kamyev, Roberts, all right there with each other, as well as Kanthan and Iliff.
Like to see what we're getting here out of Weldon, running some pretty good laps. And Vid Montien has not gone on the defensive yet. He's like, I'm out front. I'm going to run my laps. Let's see what we can do here. They're trying to pull away. They've got enough of a gap on Oliver Kinmark, who's given himself a bit of cushion, about 4/10. And Weldon goes to the lead. Weldon to the lead to the inside. Here comes Kinmark. So he pulls the trigger early.
You see that one move, and boom, there was Kinmark right in the fight.
That's it. The minute you do that here on this racetrack, everybody's right back in on you. Oliver Weldon leading in the JC Karting Cosmic. Right there with them, the Bennick of Vid Montien and the Parolin of Kinmark. And don't count out Asher Osteen yet either. 4-driver battle. And they'll see the 2 to go sign. This time by Weldon, your leader, coming through the final corner. There's a move to the inside as well. Vid Montien takes it back. Vid Montien back to the lead again. Osteen trying to fight his way forward. Weldon still sitting there, P2. Yeah, D, look at that. Osteen able to get by Kinmark. And here comes Cam Yab and Ardiles as well. Side by side into 4. Ardiles trying to get back in it, but it's Osteen now moving into second.
See, Weldon had his hand in the air. I think he wanted him to just try to push because he knew everybody else was coming. It's less than 2 to go, mate. We're rolling.
Oh, here we go. And it's a defensive line into the chicane. Now we'll stack everybody up. Drivers trying to get out cleanly. Weldon trying to get the better run here. Look at this. Enzo Vid Montien back to a bit. They need some help here. White flag going to fly this time by. This will be the final lap as they come through the last corner. Weldon trying to go to the bottom. Ardiles is going to pitch him down. Ardiles pitched him all the way down. Around the outside is coming Kinmark. This is going to give Vid Montien the win as they're racing further back. Vid Montien big lead. Weldon goes back to P4. Osteen to the bottom of the racetrack. Asher Osteen just drove him all the way down as soon as Ardiles. It was Osteen who drove Weldon down to the inside of the racetrack, essentially giving it up because this is all Enzo Vid Montien. The rest of the guys are going to scrap it out for second, third, and fourth, but this is Vid Montien's race. He let them battle behind him, and he took that lead back. Final lap on the racetrack for Enzo Vid Montien. Out of nowhere after the issues in qualifying, 3 great heat races, and he's the Pro Tour champion of 2021. He'll put a Super Nationals victory on the resume as well. Enzo Vid Montien wins in Mini Swift. What a tremendous week for Vid Montien. Vivek Kanthan coming home second, Oliver Kinmark third, Asher Osteen fourth, Oliver Weldon fifth, Jack Iliff sixth, Roman Cabiab, Cash Perkins, Tyler Roberts, and Rodrigo Ciabra rounding up the top 10. Things underway with our podium for the drivers here in this Mini Swift category for SuperNats 24. Finishing in 5th spot, number 106, Roman Cabiab. Roman Cabiab in 5th. Finishing in the 4th spot today, number 102, Jack Iliff. Finishing in 3rd, great run, number 104, Oliver Weldon.
You okay? You need anything else?
Taking the 2nd place trophy at this year's Super Nationals in Mini Swift, number 122, Vivek Kanthan. And the big trophy, taking home the win. Give it up for Enzo Vid Montien.